Hello.
That was very exciting.
We're going to try to expand on that.
Good morning. If you're watching live, that was our exciting countdown timer.
That is correct.
It's Tuesday. That means it's Taco Tuesday, and this is where we go live in our group here and talk about fitness and food and whatever else we find ourselves talking about. If you don't know me yet, I'm Brandon Glass. I'm a coach and a trainer, physical therapist, assistant, fitness nutrition specialist. And this is Nick. I'll let him introduce himself and read all his fantastic credentials.
I don't have any.
Don't lie.
Okay, I got a few, but whatever. They are what they are. I'm a nutritionist. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a health coach. My name's Nick, obviously. I've got a deep passion for mental health and kind of how the brain and the mind works together and how the body and the mind works together. So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about expectations, right? Expectations and kind of how fast we expect to see results. And it's a huge thing. I mean, this is in some ways, I kind of feel like this can really make or break, a journey for people, right? Like, I think all of us, at some point, have had unrealistic expectations. I mean, we all want to see things happen yesterday, right?
True.
Especially when we're in that kind of dark place. I mean, and the proof is definitely out there, right? Like, look at the most popular diets out there, all promise, if not yield, really fast results, right? We see those things all the time, that people have, that a certain diet will help somebody. I should help somebody, right? Lose weight really, really fast. Really fast. And they think it's great, right? I mean, I think it's sad because it seems really great to that person, right? It's actually happening. They're seeing the numbers.
They're seeing it within a couple of weeks.
If that, like, you've seen some of these groups, right? Like, you see people talking about, like, I lost 10 pounds this week. I lost 15 pounds in a week. That's crazy. Like,
yeah, it is crazy.
That feels like magic to
what we
that
consider
person.
extreme.
Yeah, it is extreme. And it makes me so, it just makes me so sad, because it feels like magic to that person. And we've kind of talked about it before, right? Like, something really, really magical is happening for that person, uplifting and important is happening for that person. And what eventually ends up happening is, it falls apart. Right. And then they've learned that they can suffer and do all the things, and it's still going to fall apart at the end.
And all the results that they had comes rushing back. It's like rewinding.
Away. Yeah, it's so horrible. It really does. Like, it really upsets me to see.
I can see that.
Yeah, it does. It stresses me out. Like, it makes me really sad, because I think
it stresses me out too. There's a lot of information out there, and not all of it's good.
Right. But to come back to, like, managing our expectations, when we start working with people, that's what people expect a lot of the time. They're like, I'm not suffering, so it's not going to work. But today,
I know.
I think we wanted to talk about, like, kind of the timeline, like, how fast should people see results? I'm going to go out. Yeah, I'm going to go out and say, like, a reasonable thing to see and we didn't talk about this, Nick, but I'm going to put the number out
Dude,
there
good.
anyway.
It's better this way. It's better
A
this way. I'm going to
reasonable
surprise
thing
you
to
later.
see.
So.
Yeah, a reasonable rate of progress to see is a pound a week.
Reasonable. Agreed. Yes.
Reasonable.
And what's extreme? More than 2. That's extreme.
That starts getting extreme. You start thinking about the actual caloric deficit that's required to make that happen.
Right. Since we're talking about this, though, sometimes you find when people have a lot of weight to lose, maybe you're getting 5, maybe you're getting 7, 8, 9 pounds in a week. When you have a lot, but when you have a lot more to lose, eventually you're going to reach plateau. Right. And it's going to slow down, and it's going to come back to that 1 to 2, sometimes less than 1. And that's still a really good win.
Anyway. I have another thing. Like, we see those weight fluctuations in a day, right? One
Agreed.
day, right? I lost 3 pounds the other day, but then I gained 3 pounds today, right? What's happening?
Super fluctuation.
Yeah, fluctuations, right? It's not fat. That's what I always have to like bring it back to for people. Okay, to lose a pound of fat, you've got to toast 3,500 calories. I know that's kind of hard to hear, but
I like the toast.
Yeah, toast it.
But seriously, on a serious note, that is 100% true.
Right. And so if you see a fluctuation of like 2 or 3 pounds in a day, which is not uncommon, okay, you got to know it's not fat. You did not gain 3 pounds of fat in a day. And I want people to be like 100% clear on that. Okay, you're not going to gain 3 pounds of fat in a day. You didn't consume,
Yeah, that's a really good thing to put out there, I think. But yeah.
So back to our timeline. How fast should it be? To me, like, I think one of the really important things to acknowledge here is it's so different from person to person. It's so subjective. It really is.
100% agreed.
Right? Where did they start from? Like, I mean, you can make the argument that we all start from the same place as children or whatever, but even that's not entirely true. Like, there's some genetic factors. And by the time you're 5 years old, depending on your upbringing,
so then therefore it's environmental as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you could be at something of a disadvantage at some point. So, where did you start? Where are you now? Right? Some people are in totally different places than others. What's your experience, your knowledge around diet and exercise? Like, some of us don't know a damn thing about this stuff, and that's fine. Like, I thought I knew a lot, and then I went to school, and really got deep into it.
I'd agree with you there. And also, like, I think a lot of times we forget how much maybe we do know compared to the outside.
Totally. Yeah.
So
that's easy to do. Right.
Yes. So it's good for us to have these chats continuously and to not tell each other everything that we're going to talk about, because it brings things back to perspective. Anyway.
Agreed. So one of the biggest things that I want people to recognize, and I just had this conversation with someone, is that progress is not linear, right? Progress is not linear, and that it's never a perfectly straight line. Thank you. Oh man, we practiced that. Thanks for putting that up. This is it. And some people have probably seen this before. But this is kind of how it is. This is obviously like supposed to be kind of comical, but at the same time, pretty accurate.
Yeah, definitely accurate. Definitely accurate. Yeah. Maybe it is supposed to be comical, but it is 100% accurate. There is no, like they always say, like the straight or the easiest path or the quickest route from one point to another is a straight line, but that is not how our lives go. It's not how things work.
Yeah. That all sounds nice, but that's not how it's just not how it works. And it might not look like this crazy jumbled line, but there are definitely, you're going to be making upward progress, and then we're going to drop, and then moving up and dropping. And, there are going to be some peaks and valleys. The upward trend, though, the upward overall trend is what you look for.
Always.
It's kind of like the housing market. And the other thing is, it's important to be patient and to be kind to yourself and your body.
Yeah.
That's what I want everybody to have, really, is acceptance of, or at least appreciation for this body. I know I put my body through a lot, like in a number of different ways in my lifetime. It's nothing short of incredible that I'm here and that my body works as well as it does. And so, I think we all can use a little bit of that. The body truly is miraculous when you start looking at how it works. And I think,
Agreed.
It's hard to appreciate that.
It is hard to appreciate. And it's the problem is, especially I believe, is the place that we're in now, like in terms of this time period, 2021, everything is supposed to happen like that. And so we're talking about expectations, right? We expect that left-hand line right up there, super quick.
Right.
And so when we get one little hiccup, we tend to panic. We tend to freak out. Why isn't this happening? And then we tend to fall off the wagon, and we tend to disappear.
Right.
Almost give up. Because
right.
Yeah. Because it didn't go perfectly. I didn't go for a straight line. It wasn't easy. Yeah. But a really smart person told me one time in life that he said nothing in life is easy. And this was years ago, and I was a little jerk, and I ended up just blowing it off. But he was right, 100% right.
Yeah, my dad used to say that all the time. Nothing worth having comes easy.
That's true. So focus on that right-hand side. If you can start to make yourself believe what's going on in your life is going to be more like, well, I don't know, the images are mirrored here, but it's the arrow on the right-hand side. That one is much more realistic.
That's what it looks like. That's how it is. We're going to be up and down. Things are going to come up. Things are going to happen for sure.
Yes. So I'm going to take over a little bit, because part of that, what I was just saying, you have to grasp your mind around that. I'm curious, this whole thing, everybody, I know the answer to this. I'm going to ask you a question, but I know the answers to this. Who wants results like right now, right now,
this moment?
Who wants those results? Everybody does.
Right.
And I would love to see some comments. Maybe not. Maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but that is what the general populace wants. They want things right now.
Yeah.
The problem with getting things right now is that those results, like Brandon was just talking about, they don't generally stick around. And there's a couple of really common reasons, and I'm going to kind of dive into those. Oh, excuse me. I had to take a deep breath there. But the first really common problem that we have is the particular thing that we are trying to do, whatever that may be. And this can go for lots of different realms of your life. This can go for weight loss. It can go for weight gain. It can go for, am I going to be I want to run a 5K. Am I going to hit the ground running a 5K? No.
Performance training. Yeah.
It can go, and it doesn't even have to be fitness or whatever related. It can be a million different things. That's just where my head's at right now. But a couple of things, this first thing that's the problem is that particular thing that you're doing maybe isn't sustainable. And we've talked about this, a million times, and Brandon, you can jump in here if you want to kind of elaborate on some things. But I don't think I necessarily want to dive into what is sustainable. But when it is not sustainable, our bodies tend to react in adverse ways, right? So think about some of the things you were talking about up there just a bit ago. When we go, when we go crazy and we completely, let's say, eliminate a complete nutrient or one nutrient, our body eventually, when we reintroduce it, it's going to get excited. Essentially, it's going to get very excited and maybe a little bit panicked, and it's going to go back to, it's going to start packing away everything that it it can get of that nutrient because it's nervous that it's going to go through another starvation mode, so to speak.
It's gonna disappear again. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's scared. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's excited and it's scared at the same time.
Right.
So,
your body's smart.
What's that?
So your body's smart. It's very smart.
Goes completely different from what our brain wants. The body is completely separate. It's completely separate.
All right. Oh my gosh.
So the body gets scared that it's going to be starved of that nutrient again, or maybe it won't get enough calories in general. So it's packing away everything, and usually in places we don't want, like belly, butt, thighs.
Right.
So that's one thing. We're trying to do something that is not sustainable for the long period of time. The other one is, we have moved so quickly that and furiously towards this goal that, since we've moved so fast, we haven't developed a habit.
There you go. I was hoping that's what you were going to say. We've missed developing the skills. Yeah.
So exactly. That the habit has not been formed. The skill has not been developed. We haven't mastered anything in that part of our lives because we're just eliminating, something cut and dry, done, gone, or we move so fast that we got those results right now, but then they go away because we've never developed the habit that got those results in the first place.
Right. You get the trophy without playing the game. Right. Oh my. Yeah.
So whatever got us those results in the first place, we don't do it anymore. We end up stop doing it. This is the other common piece, the second piece.
Right.
And then we tend to stop doing, so we tend to stop doing it and go back to what we were doing before. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best result.
Right.
So it's like the turtle versus the hare, right?
Who
wants to go fast?
That old analogy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's true though. It's true. We'll burn out, going fast and furious or taking on cheap stuff, and not really applying ourselves, and developing the habits and the skills that are sustainable.
Yeah. Well, I hope that was clear. I do have another big point, or another question rather. So I've actually had some questions for you, Brandon. I was hoping to kind of catch you off guard, but
totally.
We'll see. I want to know what you think, and everybody else, actually, for that matter. I want to know, what do you think actually is immediate? What is immediate in your perspective?
What is immediate in my perspective? Well, I mean, in this context, it all depends on the goal of the person,
Okay, so you've got some science behind this, right? But what is immediate generally? How do we define it? Usually,
immediate's like now, man, like right this second.
But in the grand scheme of things, so you just turned 40 recently, right? In the grand scheme of things, let's think about some of your bad habits, right? Your old bad habits. How long did it take you to undo that bad habit? It wasn't immediate.
Oh God.
And it can be really difficult to build a good habit. Maybe it's a difficult habit to build.
Oh God, it's ongoing, man. It's ongoing, right? Like, I mean, if you want to talk about some of the serious stuff,
yeah. So think about, I know some people struggle with, smoking or walking every day, or maybe it's just hard to stop stressing over little things that really don't matter in life. But those are things that we are working on all the time.
Yeah.
But let's think about this. You've had 40 years of building who you are right now in this moment.
Right.
How quickly do you think that you can really undo all of that? How quickly can you do that?
I don't know if it's ever like 100% undone. It's a lifelong pursuit. I mean, it's forever, and that's people hate hearing that sometimes.
This is where I'm getting at. If we can see things happen immediately, what is immediate? Is immediate 3 weeks? Is immediate 6 weeks? Is immediate 6 months? Because in the grand scheme of things, 6 months is like nothing,
right,
compared to the rest of your life. If you can lock this down.
Yeah, totally.
So what I like to see, I say we, but what I like to see happen and consider immediate lifestyle changes is, it's just that. If I can get somebody to tweak the way that they think, if I can get somebody to change their belief system, if I can get somebody to change their behavior, that is an immediate lifestyle change. And it might not give you the immediate
Right.
results that you're looking for, but that's the lifestyle change that happens. That's what we're
That's
looking
the thing.
for.
Yeah, that's the thing that you can change, right?
Yeah.
Is what you're doing.
Those are the things that will
Absolutely.
make a permanent impact for the rest of your life.
Yeah, 100%. And every time you do them, the more likely it is to stick. And the faster
Master.
that what you're looking for in 6 months, is the sooner it comes, the sooner you start to see those things. But yeah, you gotta invest in the moment that you have right now.
Exactly.
Stop expecting
Exactly.
the result next week, and stop worrying about the results in a lot of ways. A lot of the time, like, people are so focused on losing weight and the number on the scale, and they're willing to I don't know, take on some kind of unhealthy practices, eat really unhealthy things because they're 0 calorie. And the fact is, if we just concentrate on feeding our bodies healthy things and feeding our bodies in healthy ways and doing healthy things with our bodies, that result on the scale happens,
Exactly.
right? But we
Right.
set our priorities on the scale, and we end up
It's
taking
defeating.
all this other stuff. Yeah,
It's
and it's
defeating.
totally
And
defeating,
it's
right?
fleeting. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's true, but so yeah, man, 100%. And so I've actually done a couple of talks in front of other groups of people in other areas, um, and basically what those talks come down to, I don't know, I'm just talking in circles now to try to lead up to this, but it's like what I truly believe in how we actually make change, and that comes from spending time discovering who you are,
Mm-hmm.
discovering what you are,
Oh man.
discovering what you like and what you don't like. And you're asking yourself, how do I feel when this happens? How do I feel when this doesn't happen? How do I feel about X, Y, and Z? And then what can I do to change that? What can I do to reinforce that?
Yeah, this really kind of leads to I mean, this is the heart of what we do, right? Right now, what you're talking about is alignment,
Mhm. I was
right?
hoping this would be a good lead up because you mentioned this a couple times, and I want to talk about it again another time.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think that's an entirely different
yeah, agreed, agreed.
conversation, a
I think
big
it'd be a
one.
good one though.
But you are talking about alignment and
Absolutely,
us being
absolutely,
our actions and our bodies representing who we are as people.
absolutely. And
And
it's but
so
to
the
discover
questions
that.
you
I'm
asked.
sorry.
Yeah, go for it. No,
Oh,
those are big questions that you're asking. Those are
yeah. And so to discover, to go through that process, to discover, you know, all of those things. That's how I think that's highly important on how to make permanent lifestyle changes.
absolutely.
So, Brandon, I have some questions for you, and I'm hoping that it throws you off a little bit, but maybe it might not. So, let's say you want to be a rock climber. What's the very first thing you have to do?
Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you pick one thing, right? Whatever it might be. For me, right? Like, I haven't climbed for a long time. Yeah, I need to start working on my grip strength, and that's it.
Okay.
And that's me, right?
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna pick one thing and start moving. I mean,
But
you could
okay,
say, I
it's
could
fair.
also say, I just start rock climbing. Right? I
Okay,
climb.
part of it. Yeah, that could be it too. Yeah. Okay, let's say you want to go snowboarding, or you're in California, so you want to go surfing. Let's say for the very first time, what's the very first thing that you have to do?
For the very first time, I gotta go get a board, man.
Okay. That's part of the commitment, absolutely. So now let's change gears here. Let's talk about what we talk about. If you want to change your body, if you want to change your weight, if you want to change the way that you feel about yourself, what is the very first thing that you have to do?
Oh man. I mean, The very first thing that you have to do, the way that you see yourself, it's a huge question, man.
Okay. The very first thing that you have to do is maybe decide and accept,
Hmm.
because the decision is so important. Our mind controls everything that happens inside of our own little sphere that we live in.
You were thinking way deeper than I was. I was like,
We have to, I mean, no, you had it on the nail. I got to go get a board. I got to just go do it. You got to just decide, I want to do this. Is something I'm going to do.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Right.
and I think I have to accept too that I'm gonna suck at it for a while. Like, big
Well,
deal.
right.
I'm
But it's
not gonna
wise.
be, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go from here to there in a day.
Right. Absolutely. It's just like goes back to those eras. Which one I would rather be in this one. I'm always looking for, the difficult way. I shouldn't say always, but
Well, you gotta
I would
appreciate.
rather take the difficult way, because that means I'm putting in work and I'm expanding who I am. If I take the easy route every time, I'm not expanding anything.
You
Which
miss
is
all the
why,
yeah,
again, it is so important to understand you and what it is that you want to do with your life.
yeah, yeah, and learn about you. I mean, sometimes, this is an opportunity. Every change you make is an opportunity to learn a lot about yourself. You take that straight line. I mean, I look at that like a trail. You take that straight line to the top of the mountain, you miss all those viewpoints. You miss all of, that's the point to me, is the journey. It's not
Right.
just being at the top of the mountain. Yeah, the journey up there is the beautiful part to me. And, yeah, that's how I feel about diets and, fad diets and certain things that are out there. Like, you're missing this opportunity to learn about yourself.
Absolutely. This is what it all comes down to right there.
Yeah, yeah, bring it back up.
I wish my mouse could be in here, because I'd totally use it anyway.
All right, we've
Um,
been talking for a while.
yeah, this is a good long one. Again, we're doing good.
So, yeah, you guys, I mean, I want to hear if people can relate to it. That's the thing, if people really, really understand this. Like, can you appreciate the journey? Can you appreciate learning for yourself, about yourself, and learning new things? Or do you just want that, like, just give me the damn results, right? And I get it. We're so focused on those results, but seriously, you can have both. You really can. You can learn about yourself. You can get what you want. The time is going to pass anyway. Spend it learning. I mean, we should always be in
Absolutely.
a learning mindset.
Expansion.
Right. Right. We should always be in a learning mindset. And that's hard to remember sometimes. So I can
It is. It
appreciate
definitely is.
it from everyone. Let me tell you.
All
Um,
right.
So if you can relate to that, please drop us a comment here, in the chat. If if you're watching now or you're watching later. And I think I'm gonna take us out of here. we
Good. I'm good
we
with
love you
it.
guys. Yeah. Drop us a line. We love to talk with you guys. Please reach out, post in the group. Do that. We so much support
Ask
in
questions.
this group. Yeah, ask the questions. Reach out. Even if not to us, ask other people around here.
Have you seen it? The support system is fantastic here. I love
This is
it.
a positive place. This is a
Yeah.
positive place. It's exactly how I envisioned it, when Nick and I decided to build this place. So, and that's all thanks to you guys. Like,
Yes.
and
Definitely.
I can't tell you how proud I am and how appreciative I am of this group and the people in it. We've got a really awesome group of people here. So
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Let's grow it.
Love you. Yeah, let's grow it. Please invite a friend. Come on. Yeah, somebody who can use
Shameless plug of begging.
right. I know, but seriously, it's a great
Seriously, I know.
place.
It's on their way.
Hear
Yeah.
it. All right, you guys. I love you. I'm out of here. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Cheers.